Hi, everybody. We're back. I have internet again, which is part of the reason for the delay.
Yeah,
We were gonna,
apparently,
yeah,
exploding satellites are generally bad for your internet connection
yeah.
nowadays.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know that it exploded. I just wanted to be melodramatic.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I definitely brought that up to somebody who also had ExploreNet, and he looked at me like I was fucking insane. So
yeah.
that's on you.
I think part of it is that anytime someone says satellite, I assume space. Even though like satellites can be on the ground, it's just that like, oh well, satellite space. That's where satellites are. And I don't think I've ever really gotten over that uh, like error in logic. But yeah, in short, for those who listened or invested, my old internet provider decided to shut down the satellite that gives me internet, so I don't have internet. So I didn't have internet for like a week, and just so happened that like we were gonna record in like 2 days, and then nope. So that's why you're only getting one Christmas episode.
I mean, arguably, they're getting like, well, what is it, like 3 movies in one Christmas episode? So I think that kind of generally makes up for it. But you're gonna be angry with anybody, be angry with ExploreNet.
So yeah, I had to get Starlink because it was basically the only option. All the other internet providers had like terrible speed. Well, there was one that would have maybe been okay, but it was like I would have had to cut down like 30 trees to get it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't really. I rag on fucking Elon Musk so much, but like he actually makes half decent internet speeds
Yeah, it's been
for
doing.
Starlink.
Yeah, it has been pretty good. Shipping's been quick, which is nice when you're having to like spend the most possible amount of time getting your internet. So yeah,
But also,
uh,
let's be honest. I asked Matt, I asked Kyle once to run a speed test for me because I was checking a couple things. I can't remember if it was for the podcast or if it
yeah, it
was
was.
for one of the live episodes, but like he had 20 upload and like or 20 download and 1 upload speed, which is I don't know how that functions, but
Uh, I mean it's just that like when you grow up seeing like the rapid advances in technology, anything that's not like absolute dog shit feels like progress. Um, like yeah, it's kind of like, oh yeah, no, if like no one cares that the Model T only goes like 40 miles an hour because before that you were like on horses and shit. So this is Poly Sci-Fi Pod this week.
I
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
This
is
is
it?
Kyle and Cody's Cultivated Cast.
Oh, is it
I
mostly?
had to break it to you. I
Okay.
I wanted to initially throw this onto the Poly Sci-Fi podcast because like we are talking about some like weird legal stuff, but I guess that's not technically political science, but
It's legal stuff. I would have counted it.
I guess it's a hybrid episode though. Then
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. And we're like going through the three movies, which I did actually watch because I didn't have shit all to do. Um,
good for you because I got like 95% of the way through the second one, and then I realized, like, yeah, I'm not gonna have time to do the third one.
Oh, uh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, I just didn't have much to do, and I just felt like watching movies. And I've been fairly productive movie watching wise. I watched like 5 Gamera movies. Um, I watched 4 Christopher Lee Dracula movies. Yeah,
Uh, and considering the movie list that just went up on our Plex server here, you guys are really lucky you got two of the Christmas Claus or the Santa Claus movies because
yeah.
Tyler threw on um the newest episode of the Mighty Nine. I could have watched National Treasure again. I could have watched the new Now You See Me, which they finally like took everybody else's advice and made the one called Now You See Me, Now You Don't, um, instead of Now You See Me Too. Um, I haven't seen all the Kill Bills, but 3 of them just went up on the Plex server. Uh, the brand new Running Man
Yeah, I might have to check that out. But yeah.
with much whatchamacallit. So I could have been really happy in the last couple of days watching those films, but instead I was contractually obligated to sit down and watch 3 of the Santa Claus Tim Allen films.
Remember when it went back to my youth when like Tim Allen was like a likable figure.
Was he?
I mean he wasn't like openly an asshole, I guess, but I don't know.
He was charged in like 1978 for like smuggling drugs across the border.
Oh, okay. I didn't. That
Like
wasn't
a
as bad as I
pound,
thought it was going to be when you started that sentence. But
a
yeah.
pound of cocaine, and he spent like 2 years in prison for it.
Oh well, all right. And
Yeah.
now he's doing conservative sitcoms.
Well, I mean, like he's been doing conservative sitcoms for like 40 years now. Like
Was Home Improvement a conservative sitcom? I don't remember too much of it. I
I'm
remember
just
like 2
assuming
episodes.
that anything on ABC is going to be like heavily conservative undertones. So
Yeah, I have no idea. I wasn't my go-to. I'm not also not like a big sitcom person.
no, and I don't think I'd ever sit down and watch a movie like a single episode of Home Improvement. So
No, my dad watches his stupid modern sitcoms, which I can't stand at all. But yeah, I just find them insufferable. But anyway, all right. You're leading the charge on this one, so you can.
yeah, so I generally am going to flip the script and not go through a lot of the plot points of these films because I'm going to generally talk about it, but not deep dive 40 minutes into like rewriting the uh, plot synopsis here. I guess I should start with some preamble. So yeah, apparently this is actually considered one of the holiday cult classics. So that there is generally a tie in there, but for whatever reason, I'm assuming this is on the upper end of some of the budgets we've done because the I guess the first 3 films had about a conservative budget of about 99 million, and they've drawn about $470 in the box office. So
Yeah, the
uh this one, like the first film was like critically successful at like $22 million
yeah.
budget, grossing in 190 million. So I don't know
Mhm.
what was going on in 1994 around Christmas time, but apparently this was huge. I guess it's probably has a lot of things going for it, considering it was under the Walt Disney banner. And I want to bring up the fact Okay, so I uh got a copy of this film. I didn't watch it off of Disney Plus because I canceled my Disney Plus a long time ago. But I got a wonky ass copy of it off the internet. I'm gonna send you a picture here. You tell me how good this video quality is.
Oh, huh. Yeah, that is a little
Yeah, I don't
creepy.
know why the fuck like the person looks like he has hypothermia while watching this film, but like yeah. So we start the first film here with it like Scott Kelvin. He works in marketing. He spends his time with his kid, and he ends up having him in for Christmas. They end up going to Denny's. Ultimately, they he reads Old Saint Nick
Uh,
up
yeah,
on the rooftop. Click, click, click.
oh yeah,
Something,
yeah.
something. Old Saint Nick. Da 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 da. I don't know what he's reading. I'm pretty sure that's a Christmas Carol. I don't know if that's the story he's reading. I'm reading this story. Um, as he's putting him to bed, he gets up in the middle of the night. He hears a commotion up on his roof. Gets out, and then he murders Santa Claus.
Ah,
It's never quite like explicitly stated that the guy who fell off the roof actually ended up dying, but according to Wikipedia, um,
yeah. I mean, he did die.
it said who
Yeah,
falls off the roof and is believed to be dead.
yeah. No, he does
So
die, and then like fades into nothingness, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. But yeah, and then like Tim Allen reads like a little note that's in Santa's stuff, and that means he's Santa Claus.
yeah,
I don't know if this is murder because he just sort of. I mean, this is firmly an accident. Um,
mhm.
and yeah, and yeah, I think you'd.
In theory,
Yeah,
it's an
in
accident.
theory, I think that like he'd pro. I think if he has a reasonable lawyer, he'd probably be okay. I think the only way he could have gotten in trouble is weirdly enough if the roof had collapsed, because that has happened. Because there was a guy. I don't know the exact case, but there was a guy who was like robbing a place, and he fell through the roof and got hurt, and he managed to sue the homeowner.
God damn it!
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would work in like every jurisdiction with every judge, and I don't know if he got like a good settlement given the
Mhm.
circumstances. But like, I mean, the roof is as safe as it would like normally be in that situation, so it is kind of on Santa Claus for not having proper personal protective equipment. So I think yeah, I think Tim Allen's in the clear here.
Yeah, it's just like this weird concept that like if you murder the last Santa Claus, you have to become the new Santa Claus. Like that's right there in the contract. Like,
Yeah, like that is a thing you could do in this series. Like he could
well,
just kill.
that's what I thought ultimately happened was the guy like tried to get out of being Santa Claus, so he just threw himself off of Tim Allen's roof.
Maybe he did seem to
I,
slip, I guess,
yeah,
but no, he it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could. I think following the rules of this, you could kill Santa Claus and take his place, like Highlander. But I mean, it's because these movies are like rated like PG and like a soft PG. If even that, they could be G for all I know. But because they're like a soft PG, they like don't want to bring up that you could just murder, like especially like the third one, where it like would have been like a reasonable idea to like do some murder. They never even bring it up. Yeah, and maybe there's something in the Santa Claus that says you can't directly murder him. It's never explained in the movie, but you could perhaps infer it.
yeah, and apparently there's a phone number controversy in this.
Oh,
Uh, It's Neil's mother's phone number on it. Scott then says it's 1-800 spank me
Oh,
at one point in time, and so a bunch of kids apparently called this number and racked up like because it's a sex line number, ended up racking up like uh, thousands or $100,000 in like phone bills. So
and they have edited the film to like edit to change the number, presumably
yeah,
to something that like Disney actually owns.
yeah, because they tried to buy out the number and then discontinue the service, but apparently that didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, depends on how much money they offer you, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
and honestly, it's like not necessarily your fault, but yeah, they changed the number to 1-800 pound, which isn't a which I
Isn't
don't
much
think is a proper.
better?
I don't think it's a proper phone number because it's not. It's only got 5 letters in the end of it. It's not 7 letters.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Uh,
don't think it's not a functional. It's probably not a functional phone number
fair enough.
that you could even buy theoretically. So, which I suppose is an alternative to doing like a 555 situation, which is normally what people do.
Yeah, I don't know enough about toll-free numbers to be able to sit here and like make a accurate
Yeah.
what you
Well,
call it here.
if you any number that has a 555 as like the prefix to it is like not a real number
Mhm.
because I think like whoever registers phone numbers just will not give anyone that prefix. So you can just say if you ever need to do like a phone number in like a book or a movie, you can just say 555 whatever.
Fair enough.
And yeah, and there will never be a phone number registered to that number. So
So after he falls off the roof here, we figure out that he can control the reindeers on top of the whatchamacallit because he has the suit. So he goes out and uh he's with his kids, so he's like obligated at this point in time to like actually become Santa Claus and actually do Santa Claus things. So he starts delivering the presents, and then once they are finished in a very, I think it's like not even like a 2 or 3 person house montage or something. The sleigh starts to head back to the North Pole. So Santa was basically done at this point.
none of the elves ever really talk about the old Santa either in these any of these movies.
Yeah, like for the most part, it's like basically just like yeah. As soon as I like the power of Santa Claus, just basically.
Yeah. I
So this has happened before, is what I'm trying to get
yeah,
at. Like the elves were very nonchalant about this. They're like, yeah,
yeah.
you're the new Santa. Like this happened so many times before, where one Santa left and another Santa came back. So
I mean,
yep,
I think this is like a there's some like world building stuff here where like it's kind of implied that like uh you're not just becoming Santa Claus, you're like getting like his like you're becoming your soul is becoming Santa Claus's uh in a way. So it's like I think like in some level they've like there's like some soul sharing here and they view uh like whoever is this current Santa Claus is like Santa Claus because he does sort of take on certain his soul like he is altered by the experience. He becomes a different guy. Um so there might be some soul sharing things going on here. Um where like uh once you become him, you start to become the Santa Claus. And they're maybe not all the same person, but they all have the same like passion or whatever. And it would take like I mean the obvious exception being like in the third one where Jack Frost becomes Santa, where like like obviously the new person's like personality does affect who Santa Claus is, but they are ultimately Santa Claus. And like it can be overpowered, but yeah,
Okay, I think I see
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. Because I mean, especially like in the second one here, where he's like talking to the woman he's gonna marry, and it's just like, uh, I mean, I know you haven't known me for very long, but in a way, you've always known me because I am Santa Claus. So like,
That's
there is,
fucking creepy as shit.
it is weird, yeah. Um, I mean, but I mean, it's part of the territory where you're dating like a being who's immortal. Um, because I mean, from her point of view, she maybe doesn't realize that like there was a point where Scott wasn't Santa. So like maybe Scott was Santa the whole time. I don't know if she met Scott too many times before to like
Also,
clarify that. Yeah.
never technically implied that the person who takes on the mantle of Santa Claus is immortal.
Yeah, no, it's never clarified whether or not these people die of old age eventually, which may just be the
Yeah.
way it happens most of the time. Um, but I mean, it's an immortal soul situation, probably.
Well, there is, I'm not including like out of the canonical 3 movies, I'm not technically counting the Tim Allen TV series on the Disney Plus channel as part of the timeline, but in that film, he's looking to retire, so he needs to pass on the mantle. Which I don't know if that's a normal thing or if that's like kind of an outlier because I'm going solely based off of what happens in the first movie is what I classify as canon. On passing on the mantle of Santa Claus, and that's my that is you must kill the previous Santa Claus to become the new Santa Claus.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look up the Wikipedia just to see if I can find the spoilers. Based on the plot, it does seem like like Santa Clauses start to lose their power with old age. So
Okay,
yeah, that is implied. I'm gonna
yeah.
find what the. But yeah, you keep going. I'm gonna go figure this out.
So he gets up to the North Pole here. Bernard is the head elf there. He basically says you've got 11 months to sort this whole Christmas shit out, and Tim Allen just kind of fucks off back to his house. So
Yeah,
basically, he doesn't really do anything for 11 months out of the year, and then that one day he kind of comes in. He kind of gets better at like overseeing the operation like in the later films. But what I'm saying is in this first film, basically everything just runs accordingly. He does get his like his list sent to him and he sorts the list out, but besides that, he like basically that the North Pole can run inoperable basically without him, which is kind of dumb because in the next film we kind of see where he's like, "Oh no, I need to be here. I need to make sure that everything runs well." But everything runs well regardless, so it's kind of a plot hole in my opinion, but we also see that he's coming into more of a like a Santa Claus figure. He puts on a fat suit, he grows a beard. He's walking down the street. He's doing a montage where everybody's he's walking around and he's going like, "Oh, you've been naughty and you've been nice." And then he looks at one girl and he's like, "Oh, you've been real naughty." And then the girl like basically says you wish to him or something along those lines and then just keeps on walking. So kind of gross adult Tim Allen stuff that doesn't need to be in a kids film, but I digress. I guess you need to throw a couple things in for the adults that are forced to be dragged to this film in 1994. So uh, um, he's basically just having like a full diet of sweets at this point in time. So like one of the characteristics of Santa Claus is like apparently he doesn't eat normal food. He only eats sugar. he's dyeing his hair to try and disguise the fact that he's not Santa Claus. I guess like a lot of the montage here also is like one with all the kids are starting to recognize him as Santa Claus. So I
Yeah,
mean, like a big old white guy with a beard is Santa Claus. They're coming up to him and like whispering what they want for Christmas in his ear, or like trying to get on his lap and stuff like that. And it's starting to affect his life. He can no longer do his job. They're they're doing a meeting at the toy company that he's a part of. They're trying to sell a tank for Christmas this year by doing an advertisement where instead of like Santa Claus riding around in his reindeer and stuff like that, he's driving like I want to say a Pulsar tank. I don't know if that's necessarily correct. When Tim Allen kind of starts arguing with them that they can't give up uh, his like Santa's sleigh because it's too iconic, that they tell him that he needs to get help, uh, in which he goes to a doctor to try and get his weight and stuff like that under control. Um, they're sitting there trying to listen to his heartbeat and try and figure out what's wrong with him, and his heartbeat starts to play Jingle Bells,
yeah,
and the doctor doesn't say fuck all about that and goes, "Yeah, this is normal. You're like 10 seconds away from being dead, be considering Jingle Bells is like, I don't even know how many beats per minute, but I feel like it's not a normal heartbeat beats per minute. So I guess they just let him go. All while this is happening, we've got kind of a B plot with Charlie's son who um, is going on this big giant whatchamacallit, I don't know, tantrum about his dad being Santa Claus. And Tim Allen's trying to cover it up for him so that he can stop and like live a normal life. At this point in time, Thanksgiving starting to creep up over the course of these montages. So he has to go uh, and go be Santa Claus. So him and Charlie are starting to get in trouble with their mother. He basically goes over for Thanksgiving dinner, and they are transported back to the North Pole by Bernard. And at this point in time, the mother of Charlie and stepfather, Laura and Neil, um, end up calling the police because they believe that Scott has kidnapped their child. And he sets out.
yeah. This is a interesting little angle through this whole thing where where like the custody battle in the first one's pretty different. Like it's vaguely sad just because like he is like it does look bad from a certain point of view. You could argue that like Charlie's parents are like sort of like overreacting, and like this is something that would have sorted itself out eventually if they had just left well enough alone. But yeah, it is sort of like this really difficult issue where like every yeah they just think that like Scott's going crazy and is like trying to pretend to be Santa Claus to get more attention from his son. It's interesting.
Who, like, nobody in this, like, the transformation at this point in time, like, was, like, legitimately, like, half a week long, and they think that he, like, put on fucking, like, 45 pounds and, like, not even that. It's probably a very unhealthy amount of weight to put on in, like, 2 weeks. Uh, Grew out his beard and then started to dye it to pretend to be Santa Claus so that his child would love him more.
Yeah, it's just
Like, absolutely insane in my opinion, but I'm just
yeah.
following the movie's
Um,
logic here.
I mean, the movie doesn't do a great job of like portraying the passage of time
Yeah,
because
fair
like
enough.
there is a year does pass in the story, but
I guess
yeah,
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 11 months would be
but like you're
a
not
lot
sure at
longer.
what point you're at in the they did
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
calendar in the background or something
Hmm.
kind of.
So yeah, Scott sets out to deliver the gifts with Charlie. Upon arriving back at Lauren Neal's house, he's arrested by the police that were called. Uh, Charlie's still up on the roof. Then they have the elves apparently break Santa Claus out of jail. He gives a heartfelt speech to Charlie about the importance of everyone in the family. In the family, that's a weird fucking sentence. Yeah. He basically gives a heartfelt speech, and Laura and Neil uh, start to think that he actually is Santa Claus, and then she burns up the documents and gives him back his visitation rights to Charlie. Um,
He does have to demonstrate that he has actual magical powers because that is kind of uh the
yeah,
way to save
they
this.
straight up called in a fucking SWAT team on the guy.
Yeah.
Like that's all it takes is what one fucking antsy SWAT like officer
Oh yeah, no, they were gonna shoot him.
ended up accidentally shooting fucking Skull Calvin, and then he has to become the new Santa, and that's a way better film that I wish we were watching at this point in time.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they are full on prepared to shoot the bastard.
According to Bernard, anytime Charlie can shake the snow globe, he can see his father, which I think he doesn't get to go to this North Pole. Scott just comes to him.
Yeah.
Uh, it's shown later that he ends up shaking it, and Scott comes back and picks him up, and they go out delivering presents together. But he said he was halfway over. I don't even know what continent he said he was over. I'm pretty sure it was like something like California or something.
I think he said Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay. He takes off from the roof later, and yeah, and apparently his mother said, "Yeah, you can take him, just don't bring him over any bodies of water," which is absolutely insane to me because like when you fall from a certain height,
Yeah.
it's been disproven that regardless of how high you fall from, like you can still survive the fall, right? Into
Uh,
water as long as it's into water.
I don't know.
Like I think you have to like dolphin dive into it. Like you don't like you go feet first, but uh
Uh, I don't know. I'll state for the record that like neither of us are doctors. Do not take any skydiving advice from either Kyle or Cody. I have not done it. I cannot speak for Cody. So
I don't even know if this is like a doctor question. I'm pretty sure this is a physics question at this point in time. So I also don't have a doctorate in physics either. But so yeah, that's basically the end of the first film, which is absolutely like just going based off of everything that we've seen here, going off the film in itself, not going off of any other films. This is the precedence that the film has set that you must kill the previous Santa Claus to become the new Santa Claus. Uh, the next movie leads into like some more even more questions on like the transfer of like mythical
yeah,
powers because we get introduced to uh like a whole charades of other mythical creatures that are there in the universe. Which actually harpens back to like I guess the last film we've done with this kind of like uh pretext to it was the Tooth Fairy back in a few years ago with Wayne the Rock Johnson, where he is basically punished for like shit talking the Tooth Fairy, and he has to become the new Tooth Fairy by like court mandated like community
I
service essentially.
I had forgotten all about that that
Yeah,
they had
it's
done
kind
that.
of the whole entire reason but that we I wanted to throw this up on the film is to try and compare the two like uh father figures becoming mythical beings in uh film series because apparently it's catching on a lot.
A couple things that happened in the series. I've read through all the synopsises and everything. Uh,
Sure.
Santa Clauses can be banished
Okay.
because because the villain from season two is a Santa Claus who had been banished after one season. They call him Mad Santa. Uh, and then yeah, and they don't end up replacing Santa Claus yet. They're just talking about it throughout the entire series.
Okay, but there's also different Santa Clauses, is there not?
Yeah, I think they get this tech guy to try being Santa Claus, but he quits.
Played by Kelpen.
Yeah, yeah, in the
And
first season.
then in the first season, and then I think Gabriel Iglesias, the comedian, plays. He doesn't play Santa. He plays like something Noel or
Yeah,
Father Christmas or something. Like it's very very similar to Santa Claus, but technically he's not Santa. I don't know.
no, I think they talk about making Buddy the new Santa Claus, who they call Cal in the series just to confuse me. Like
Yeah. Okay.
his name's Buddy. I don't know why they're calling him Cal.
Or is his name Cal and they just call him Buddy?
No, because Cal is short for Calvin, the last name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, they're doing that for some reason. It's super weird. Uh,
Hmm.
I guess he doesn't like it. But anyway, um, otherwise, there's not too much insights that I got.
Just going on the crazy train, like if I had to rate this movie on like a scale of like I don't know, 5 to 10 or 1 to 10 in like in the Santa Claus film, I'm gonna put this probably at like 8. In my opinion, it's probably the best film uh for what it's worth. I didn't see the Jack Frost one, so I'm not gonna include that one. I
Yeah.
kinda have a general idea of what went down in it, but I didn't watch it. Um, so the second film is, in my opinion, one of the more crazier films of the series because, it gets kind of existential with itself and, like, uh, the plot being that, Scott Calvin now has to go out and find himself a wife because there must always be a Mrs. Claus for Santa Claus, and he has to find a date in something like 28 days, which is absolutely fucking insane.
Which is on the
Uh,
elves. Like they really fucked that up. But it does also raise the question of what happened to the last Mrs. Claus. Was she perhaps murdered by the elves as soon as the last Santa was dead? Who knows? It is not spoken of again.
yeah, like forced into retirement, I guess. Um,
Yeah, we never see
she
her.
just kind of like vanishes off the face
They,
of the earth
yeah,
when Scott gets in and once again this came out so the first film was shot in 1994 and it came out to 19 or came out in 1994. The next film in the series is in 2002, so like I think
yeah,
nobody ever thought
6
this
years
movie was
later.
getting 8 years later. uh
Yeah, right.
Nobody ever thought that this film was getting a sequel, but ultimately, once again, this was had a $65 million budget and somehow still made $172 million at the box office. So maybe I'm just fucking insane, and like the way to make money in the film industry is just make bad Christmas films for children. Like
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure here anymore because like critical success and like the last one was a critical success and
like it's crazy how much like more involved the Christmas Village is in the second one. Like
Yeah.
they put like they spent an extra 40 like the extra $40 million on sets. It's wild because like there's
Yeah.
nothing. It's all underground in the original. There's no like above ground anything. It's yeah.
I'm just trying to, yeah, like that's like maybe I guess your special effects budget's gonna eat into that a little bit more. Um, they gave the all the elves fucking like rocket packs in this movie or something, and like uh created their own fucking reindeer language and made the reindeer able to talk and stuff like that, which I don't think was a thing in the first film. Maybe it was, and I wasn't paying attention enough to it, but like in my opinion, the subplot of this story is way more interesting than the initial plot, which is Tim Allen making like existential like neo-Nazi Santa Claus.
Say again?
Okay, so the film legitimately like like clones Tim Allen and then
Oh.
tries to teach
Oh,
this
right.
new Santa
Oh
Claus
god,
how to
yeah.
be.
I had forgotten about
I
that for a fucking second. Actually, yeah. No, like, what the
I
fuck are
feel
you
like
talking about? And then like, oh wait, yeah, the uniform. I forgot. They make like a robot Santa that eventually gets into like like a Nazi esque admiral's uniform. It's fucking wild. Actually, now that you say it, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Holy god.
and I also feel like the production actually forgot about this whole entire subplot because like they wrapped that up in like 10 minutes at the end,
Yeah.
and like the main focus of this is Tim Allen trying to find a fucking wife. And I don't know why he didn't just jump on the first lady that they introduced him to, because the mother tries to hook him up with like some random like girl that she met. Like there's no like, hey, we need like true love for this. We just need somebody who can come like be Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus. And so yeah.
That is a fair point. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, he could have done that, but I don't know if maybe there's a reason. Maybe he just doesn't want to hang out with her. But
So yeah, so just to reiterate on what the which is funny because actually I didn't really catch on to the whole like clause thing. Um, what they're trying to do is they're playing at like legal clause, um, spelled with an e at the end of like Santa. So Santa Claus spelled with
yeah,
an e. It's kind of funny. Um, but the clause is that he must get married before the next Christmas Eve, or he will stop being Santa Claus.
yeah, which is definitely something they should have brought up like immediately, like
Yeah,
something they should have brought up like as soon as the next as Christmas was done. Like, as they really do leave it for the last possible minute. Like, holy shit, that is really irresponsible. I mean, that's probably why why Bernard's not in the third one, is because he got fired for doing that.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
fire the guy too, but I
yeah,
don't think that's obviously on Bernard. I think it's the younger guy, the
yeah.
second in command, the one
Also,
with
yeah, but
the
I mean
book
that guy
that
gets promoted, so
okay.
the corporate blame clearly ends up falling on
I just
yeah,
assumed that the guy aged out of being able to pass as a child, and they're like, we need a new person because this was made like what,
that could be true because he is one of the older child actors in those movies.
I can't even remember the third one here. Came out in 2006, so I guess 4 years after this one. So, or was I? Yeah, like this whole like subplot in my opinion is like super existential because ultimately he basically decides that the naughty and nice list is too slack, I guess. Like he stops like uh talking about he goes like extreme like no moral gray areas. Rather, you're like, oh, you're on the naughty list or you're on the nice list. We're not going to start bending the rules because like you're a child. So he just basically puts everybody on the naughty list, and it is about to deliver coal all the ways to every child on Earth, essentially.
For context, David Krumholtz, who was played Bernard, was 16 in the original. I guess maybe 15 during filming. So that makes him like 23 in the sequel. So yeah, that does kind of track.
And then by 4 years, so he'd be
Yeah,
about 27.
yeah. No, he's
But this is
currently
like
47.
2006. Yeah. This is 2006, and I mean, I guess that there's some things that you could definitely do to make it him appear younger, but maybe he just timed out at
Yeah,
that
there's
point.
only so
So,
much you can do, and whatever.
which also like I guess the next gripe that I kind of have about this film was the magic powers that Scott can only use like X amount of times in this universe.
Yeah.
They're like you can't show that you're Santa Claus, so you can only use your powers X amount of times, and then if you overuse your powers, you're not able to get back to the North Pole.
Yeah, they do really like again, this is a whole thing and they should have been on this earlier. Uh
Hmm.
yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, and then there's I mean on the poly sci-fi side of things, I did look it up. Uh there is an amount of I mean there's two reasons why like technically the Santa Claus wouldn't be legally binding. You're not really supposed to use print that small like legally. That's why
Oh,
like legal documents go like so long.
hmm,
It does technically have to be readable. You can get in trouble for like obscuring stuff. And there is also the matter of when you if there's something in the contract that you need to be that the person should need to be made aware of, there is a principle where like you are supposed to point that out to the person immediately before they sign it.
hmm,
So like I mean depends on the judge, but it is
yeah.
and like there's also other caveats here. Yeah, and like I don't even know what law this is supposed to be under. I guess maybe UN international law because international waters they live in.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where North Pole would be. It would be in international waters. So
So, at the North Pole at this point in time, what's his face? Scott's going under a desanitification process that gradually turns him back into his former self. He has a limited amount of magic to help him, as I said before. His son's like this is like weird C plot at this point in time, but his son's like defacing lockers because of the principal doesn't do anything for Christmas this time of year because she's administrator of a prestigious like academic public school, I guess, then they don't have
yeah,
money in their budget to like throw up a Christmas wreath, or if they do throw up Christmas wreaths, then it detracts away from their budget, so they can't do other things in the academic world. Which I mean, arguably, I personally believe that there should be a separation of like church and state. So I don't really believe that Christmas should be the only thing being celebrated during the Christmas times, but well, that's a completely other story. Uh, so this principal is pulling Charlie into the office, and the person and everybody else, Scott's there, his wife's there, and they're all sitting there arguing about it. At the North Poles, the new Santa follows the rule book too literally and begins to think that everyone in the world is naughty because of their small mistakes. As a result, he takes over the North Pole using giant toy soldiers he made himself and unveils his plans to the elves to give lumps of coal to the world. So at this point in time, Bernard exposes Toy Santa, telling him that he's not the real Santa. And we go back to, I guess, the main plot in this point in time, where Scott has gone on a few failed dates. He finds himself falling in love with the principal, I guess. He brings her on a horse drawn carriage ride through the at the faculty Christmas party. She confesses to him that he used to believe in Santa Claus as a child until she was forced to stop doing so by her parents after fighting with children who told her Santa was not real. Scott's using his Christmas magic to be able to do like Christmas Santa things. Because I think at one point in time, his making of the Christmas carriage, which doesn't make much sense to me because he also brought his own reindeer. Like he had a reindeer at that point in time, so he only made the Christmas carriage, but it caused his meter to go from like 10 down to 6, which I don't know uh, how much magic like logic works in this world, but like that feels like a lot for just making like a horse drawn carriage appear out of nowhere. He also makes it start to snow on his ride, which once again I don't get it. So I'm not going to talk too much about the whole magic thing, but like there's a new kid in the bunch. This is I'm assuming Charlie's ex-wife and stepfather's child named Lucy. Charlie ultimately ends up yeah, Charlie ultimately ends up convincing Carol that Scott is Santa by showing her the magic snow globe he received during Scott's initial transformation, so back in the original movie. And Curtis flies to tell Scott about Toy Santa's plan, and he has to go back and fight what's a fake Santa. I'm really trying hard to say Nazi Santa, like not say Nazi Santa, but it's definitely Nazi Santa at this point in time. Um,
Oh, so while we're at this, like yeah, he does like obviously Scott does defeat Robot Santa at the end and reclaims his title after like impromptu marrying Carol, which we were talking about. But I figured out they do find who was the previous Santa Claus does appear in the Santa Claus's series. Um, guess in his character title like specifies which Santa Claus number he is. Why don't you take a guess at what that number is?
well, I'm gonna assume you want me to say super high, but I'm gonna assume it's super low, given the fact that Santa may or may not be immortal, but also not immortal because of the TV series adding like stipulations to that. So maybe it is pretty high. I'm gonna say 69 just for the funniness of it.
So the essentially, uh, Scott would be Santa Claus number 18.
Okay, so I was fairly on the nose there. Would you arguably like if we're going based off the like traditional Santa Claus mythos here? Wasn't Old Saint Nick in like the 1800s?
Okay, so Saint Nicholas, the real guy of Mira,
Yeah.
uh, he
Oh,
was
fourth
yeah
century.
yeah he's fourth century. He's third and fourth century. He's born in
Okay.
270. He's born in 270 and dies in 343. So at the age of 70. So that would mean that okay. So if we assume that's when like our actual assuming he's Santa number one, that means there's
Hmm.
17 more Santas going up to that, or 16 Santas between 343 and 1994. So 1994 minus 343, that's 1,651 years divided by 16. So the average Santa serves for about 100 years.
Which I mean technically makes sense, but except for the fact that in this film, I mean I guess Tim Allen's fucking getting up there. I didn't realize he was 72 at this point in time. So
And it is also stated that Santa Claus 17 was Santa Claus in the 30s. So that means he was served for about 64 years. And we know of the other Mad Santa from the series who served for 1 year. So there's got to be some guys there that served like a good 150s or 200 years in there somewhere. Do we have more thoughts to say about the second one, or should we move on to the third one?
uh for time wise, yeah, like in my opinion, this this ultimately ranks lower. I'd say about a 6 in my opinion in terms of like ratings here. Because like it just kind of ignores too much plot in my opinion to be like highly rated. And also like forcing somebody to like it also brings up like a weird talk about like this group of like old mysterious fucking I don't know what they call them selves. Council of Legendary Figures. So for the fact that Cupid can't shoot Tim Allen with an arrow, they kind of just ignored a very big plot hole, in my opinion, because Cupid could have shot somebody else with an arrow, making somebody fall in love with Tim Allen. Tim Allen just being like, "Hey, you need to come to the North Pole with me and be my wife for the rest of eternity." They eventually have to like they're trying to pull out one of Tim Allen's teeth to put under the pillow to get the tooth fairy to come to him, but ultimately the young girl ends up losing a tooth in the time, and she puts it under the pillow for Tim Allen. So I guess as long as you believe in the tooth fairy as an adult, the tooth fairy will still come and give you money. So stuff like that, weird plot lines.
Yeah, no, I think that's basically the third one. Basically, because I did watch it, he goes around and he essentially there's a another guy who hasn't we haven't seen in the previous movies, Jack Frost, who
Okay.
yeah, and he's like, oh, I want to be Santa Claus. So he ends up using like a magic item to like trick Santa into giving up his powers, and he becomes Santa for a little bit, and he makes like a resort, and like essentially quits doing deliveries. And it's also there's a subplot about like Carol being pregnant through the film because she's having a baby. Yeah, it's just it's okay. I don't mind it. It does a bit of the It's a Wonderful Life thing where like we get to see what happens to Scott if he doesn't become Santa Claus. Essentially, he just becomes really business guy, and he like stops seeing his family after a while, which is a bit of a stretch, honestly, given what happens. Um,
Hmm.
but it's also in and like there's also like a bunch of other stuff where like they questioned about the fact about how much Scott hangs out with like his ex-wife, which I mean, yeah, whatever. Uh, I mean, it's a point that's brought up, but it's mostly just for a bit of drama. It's not a bad movie as far as like legal questions. It's a like they do another thing where it is literally like the cheapest possible trick to get this magic item to make you into Santa Claus or like make someone give up being Santa Claus. They do have to, it works like they go back in time in which Jack Frost actually does do the thing where we've been joking about Tim Allen doing, where like he does purposely distract Santa Claus to make him fall off a roof. So like,
Hmm.
yeah, that is more murdery, and it's I don't know if there's too many lore questions we can ask about it, just because it's kind of people hate on it. I don't mind it. Like it got nominated for like 5 Golden Raspberries. It didn't win any.
I'm trying to figure out there was a film series in Rise of the Guardians, which basically just does this whole thing where they make like the
Yeah, see the episode where me and Victoria review that movie. Um,
oh,
yeah,
okay. You
yeah,
also did
uh,
that one.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's mostly just some changes to the way things work. I don't know. It's okay. I kind of like the plot, honestly. I kind of like the later ones a little bit
And
more, honestly.
once again, you can slam it all you fucking like, but it made $110 million at the
Yeah,
fucking box office in 2006.
yeah. Although I can't find the budget on Santa Claus 3.
Okay, fair
So,
enough. But
yeah, it might not have done as well as they were hoping. And it didn't make as much money. It only made 110 million, which I think the budget's maybe similar to the first one.
uh,
Just guessing.
worst actor, worst screen couple. I guess that was between Martin Short and Tim Allen. Uh,
I guess it's for
worst
worst
supporting
on-screen
actor,
combo, but yeah. Martin Short, he's
worst
annoying.
prequel or sequel, or
Yeah. Again, it got like 5 nominations, but it didn't win any of them. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know that any of this is
um,
legally enforceable, but that's about it. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Although I don't know how UN. I don't think the UN does these sorts of cases anyway. So who's enforcing it?
uh, in theory, like they would enforce themselves.
Yeah, I mean
uh,
they might be a
the
micronation technically.
Council of Legendary Figures. Also, the second one does this weird plot in the beginning of the first film or the second film where they're going over the North Pole with a plane, and the people on the plane are like, I don't know what's going on around here. I hear tiny hammers off in the distance on like sonar or something, and then they start listening to like a Christmas theme song being played over like a jukebox by the new elf, and he ends up getting in shit for it. But like,
Hank from Quarter Gas is on the plane.
is he?
Yeah, that's him. That's Hank from Quarter Gas. He's
Huh.
like the radio operator in that. Yeah, which I think is when Quarter Gas was on the air too. So this might be shame none of those guys ever made it big.
I don't know. What would you rate the films if you had to
Ah,
fire them onto a scale? Does that mean I guess you're the only one
yeah,
who actually watched this one? So
yeah. I think they're all sevens.
all sevens.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't have one that I'm like particularly disappointed in. I
sure.
guess I like the lighter two a little bit more, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just me.
I think the first one definitely deserves its like cult cinema status. Um, for a Christmas movie, but that's about it. And only if you can get a decent copy of it, because I'm really sick and tired of seeing purple people on my screen for whatever reason.
So yeah, see you sometime in the new year with our with like a poly sci-fi on the Death Star and super weapons. I guess
Sure.
something like that. Yeah, no time to review elves. We'll have to do that next year or whatever. But
Hmm.
which was our other plan. But
Did
yeah,
we not do elves?
no, no, that was the other thing I brought up that we could do as a Christmas thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's getting canceled. So, but yeah, so happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Buy my book, The Pennsylvanian, on digital on your favorite digital book platform. Thanks everyone. It's been like a fun year, slow year, just because I've been getting the book out, but having lots of fun with that and everything. So, see you in the new year, guys. Goodbye.
See ya.